Hey guys, welcome back to the Birds in a Schoolhouse. My name is Jocelyn. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new, I am a first-time homeschooling mom to a kindergartner and first grader, 4-year-old, 6-year-old, almost 5-year-old. In this video, we are going to be doing our read aloud reviews for the first half of the year. So I did do a video that showed all the books that I had planned for us for the whole year, and this is just the first half. So we do 6 week terms, and I had it scheduled so that we did 3 books per term, which was a little bit more than I expected, but we made it through. We actually did get to all of our books. So I'm gonna review them in no particular order, tell you a little bit about them, what we liked about them, what we didn't like about them, and full disclosure, my 4-year-old probably put a thumbs down to all of the books, but I think that's just because she's younger and her attention span, she wants to look at pictures, and you know, these are all chapter books. So some of them had pictures, some of them didn't. So the ones that did not were an automatic thumbs down for her. Even if she was listening to the words, thumbs down. We read Yours Sincerely, Giraffe, and my son literally laughed out loud at this book. It's very cute. There's a lot of pictures. Each page pretty much has a little drawing. It's about a penguin and a giraffe. They become pen pals, and they talk about, it's hard to imagine someone you've never seen. So a giraffe doesn't know what a penguin looks like, and vice versa. So their letters back and forth, they're talking about what they look like, and the giraffe ends up taking a trip to go visit the penguin, and he tries to make himself look like a penguin based on the things that the penguin has told him in his letters. So it's a really cute book. My son really enjoyed it. He thought it was funny, and it's a quick read, and it's got pictures in it, little drawings. So this was definitely a big hit. So next up we have My Father's Dragon. This is a short, quick little book about a boy who goes to rescue a dragon. There's a cat that tells him about a dragon on an island, and so he makes the trip to go save the dragon, and he goes through all these animals that live on the island. And my son enjoyed it. He thought the animals were silly. He asked a lot of questions, but he said he really is not interested in reading the second book. So while he enjoyed this one, it did not capture his attention enough to continue on the My Father's Dragon journey. My daughter, I'm just gonna say she said she didn't like it. She wants more pictures. Even though this one had plenty of pictures, she still said she didn't like it. So we're just gonna go with my son's opinions here. Okay, so next we have Pippi Longstocking, and there's really not a lot of pictures in this book. My son thought that the antics of Pippi were very clever and funny, but he did not like how long this book was. So this is about Pippi Longstocking, who she's got all sorts of misadventures, and I was entertained, my son was entertained, but he said it was too long and there wasn't enough pictures. So there's that. Okay, next up, this, I take it back. My daughter said she liked this book. We read The Littles, and this is actually a book that I replaced. What did I replace? I think I replaced The Tale of Despereaux with The Littles, because based off of Pippi Longstocking and how he said it was too long, The Tale of Despereaux was even longer. So I had this book on the shelf. It has a good amount of pictures. It's about these little people that are only a couple inches tall, and they have tails, and they live in a house, and the house gets mice, and mice is like their enemy. And so it talks about their adventures of getting rid of the mice. So it's short, it's quick. My daughter liked this one. Again, this is the only one that she said she did like, and my son liked it as well. It was a quick read, so this one was a hit. Okay, the next one we have is The Bears on Hemlock Mountain. Again, this is another short, quick read, plenty of drawing, pictures. Honestly, I didn't even know what this book was about. It's about a young boy that has to go over the mountain to get a pot from his aunt. And he wants to know if there are bears on Hemlock Mountain, and it talks about his journey over the mountain. And I didn't really see the fun in this book. Both of the kids kind of thought it was fine. My son liked that he hid in a pot to hide from a bear. So spoiler alert, there was a bear on Hemlock Mountain, but this one was just an okay. Neither one said they liked it, neither one said they didn't like it. It was just like, it was fine. So that's the Bears on Hemlock Mountain. All right, we have Charlotte's Web. I was nervous about this book. If you saw my original schedule book, the schedule video, you saw that I was nervous about whether or not the kids were gonna like it, because when it comes to talking animals, sometimes they're a little so-so, but because of this book, I now have to allow spiders to live in my house, because those could be Charlotte and she could have babies, and we need to make sure that we don't kill the babies. This book was a hit. This book is about, I almost said babe. Wrong book. This book is about Wilbur, and he goes to live on a farm, and he doesn't realize that he is going to be the Christmas pig, we'll just put it that way. And so he befriends Charlotte the spider, and she does everything in her power to save his life so that he doesn't become the Christmas pig. And it is a really, really wonderful story that I have not read since I was really young, and I enjoyed reading it. Both of the kids, even though my daughter said she didn't like it, both of the kids were, oh, just one more chapter, just one more chapter, just one more, what happens, are we gonna read Charlotte tonight? So this one was a big hit. I would say it's probably the most memorable of all the ones that we read, just based off of the fact they still talk about it. But I would definitely recommend this book. It was a big hit. And now I have spiders in my house. Not really, but I just don't, eliminate them in front of the kids anymore, because we have to protect Charlotte. Next up, we have Little House in the Big Woods. And this is about Laura, and she lives in Wisconsin, I believe, with her family in a cabin. And this is in the 1800s. This is set in the 1800s. And she's got two sisters, and she lives with her ma and pa. And it does a full year cycle. So it starts in the fall, and then it goes into winter, and then it goes into spring, and then it goes into summer. And it talks just about how they survive in the woods with nobody else around. This book raised a lot of questions. My son had a lot of questions. We learned a lot. Like the cheese, they talk about making cheese in here, and we looked up videos about making cheese. So my daughter said she didn't like this book because it talks about animals dying, because obviously they were killing food to eat, to make fabric, to do, they processed deer, used the skin, they made deer jerky, all of these things, and it actually goes through the processes of that, which my son thought was very interesting, but my daughter didn't like it. She didn't like that they were hurting the animals. So I thought this was a really good book, but even though we learned a lot, he does not want to continue reading the series. So maybe we'll wait a couple years and then we'll bring in the next one, because he probably won't remember. Well, actually, he probably will, because he remembers everything. But I thought this was really interesting. My son thought this was really interesting. So this was a semi-hit. Next up, we have The Adventures of the Wishing Chair. And my son really enjoyed this book. However, it was really long for me to read, and I didn't realize how long it was. My daughter thought it was too long. Again, that's just how it is. So he really enjoyed it because he liked the fact that they got the chair and they got to go on adventures, and it's got a lot of magic in it. It's got wizards, it's got witches, it's got elves, they have a little, it's a brother and sister that they sit down in this chair in an antique store, and it grows wings and it flies away, and they go on all sorts of adventures. But they have a little pixie friend named Chinky who goes on the adventures with them. So they go to all these little magical worlds, and they meet all these magical people. So my son really enjoyed this book. It just, for me personally, was a lot to read. But I know that there are other books in this series, and then there's another set by the same author, Enid Blyton. So maybe for next year we will bring in another one, but from a different series, because I think I've had enough reading about Wishing Chair Adventures for now. But yeah, I would be open to reading another book by the same author, but just a different series. All right, so overall, the favorites were Charlotte's Web, The Adventures of the Wishing Chair, and The Littles. Oh, and Yours Sincerely, Giraffe. I mean, just because my son was literally laughing out loud at this book. My daughter, this is the only one she claimed she liked, so we're just going to go with that's a favorite. And then the fact that they still talk about this book, so I think that's pretty awesome. All right, well, thank you for listening and bearing with me as we go through the first half of our read alouds. We are well into our second part of the year schedule. Those books are a little bit more books from other parts of the world, so there's some classics mixed in as well, but I have replaced a couple books just because, based off of the books we read and the feedback I got from the kids with this set, I did change some out in the second set of the year. So stay tuned for those. I will go over those at the end of our sixth term. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave it below. And if you want to follow along our homeschool adventures, please remember to like and subscribe below. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye. Tell me, which one was your favorite book? We have My Father's Dragon, Pippi Longstocking, The Wishing Chair, The Bears on Hemlock Mountain, Little House in the Big Woods, Charlotte's Web, Yours Sincerely, Giraffe, or The Littles. Charlotte's Web?
Charlotte's Web.
Why was it your favorite?
Because we watched the movie.
Because you watched the movie, nothing about the book?